Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Baseballogy, and today we are going to talk about the National League East and my predictions for the NL East. So first, to start off, we capped off our last video talking about the American League East, and basically how, well, if you have watched it, you saw what my predictions were. I think they were kind of bold, having like all three of the top three AL East teams be the Yankees, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Toronto Blue Jays, and all of them making the playoffs with plus 90 wins. So yeah, it was a little bit of a bold pick, but hey, you know what? That's what we're going with. So, like I said, today we are talking about the National League East, which is going to be fun because I'm a huge Mets fan. So, you know, I try to not be as much of a homer as like people will think I am being. Like, what I mean by that is I'm not trying to just say, oh yeah, the Mets are going to win 110 games. Like, uh, kind of how I explained it in the last video. I go through the schedule like one game at a time, going through all of the 162 games. Like, I don't spend much time on each game looking like, okay, well, blah, 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 right? I'm just saying, okay, you know what? I think each team is going to win like 2 out of 3 games or 1 out of 3 games or something like that, right? So that's kind of how I went across by doing this one. So let's just start it off, I guess, right? So at number 1, we have the New York Mets. I think this one's kind of the obvious one because, like, the New York Mets went out and got a lot of guys. They went out and got Francisco Lindor, Carlos Carrasco. And I mean, they just went out and they spent money. I think they even got Kevin Pillar, who has been with a couple teams like the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, maybe the Giants. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that one. But you know, they went out and got like a bunch of guys that I think are going to be solid guys. Mostly above average guys. They got a lot of pitching depth. So I think it's going to be really fun to watch the Mets play baseball this year. And I think they are going to go 96 and 66. And that puts them in the number 1 spot for the National League East. At number 2, we have the Atlanta Braves, who are always a good team. You know, you never see them have an excessively bad season. You always see them have like a pretty solid season. So for this year, I think they're going to go 95 and 67, and that puts them 1 game behind the New York Mets. I think this is going to be interesting because I think everybody predicts like the New York Mets just running away with the division. But I, as like a New York Mets fan, I don't think that's going to happen because they're not really. They've never really been the team to just win the division and like win it by like 20 games. Like, plus the Braves still have a bunch of guys like Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna, Freddie Freeman, Dansby Swanson, Travis Darnell. They still have a bunch of guys. Oh, Marcell Ozuna. They really have kept most of their team. They've added some pretty crucial, I think, pitching. They have a couple guys coming up from the minors that are going to be really good for them. So I think the Braves are going to finish in second in the division, and they're going to win 95 games. I feel like that's a solid, solid prediction for them. At number 3, we have the Washington Nationals, who I think are going to go 83 and 79. The Nationals had like a below average year last year, right? It was also a really weird season, only 60 games. So is it really even worth saying that, it was a legitimate season? I don't know. The Nationals are usually a team that, sits in that like number 2, number 3 position in the NL East. Sometimes in that number 1 spot. They have a bunch of guys that are still, hitting really well for them. They have a bunch of guys still pitching really well for them. So like Steven Strasburg, Matt Scherzer, are still on that team. They still have Trey Turner. They still have, I believe, Ryan Zimmerman's coming back this year. They still have Juan Soto, who is, I think, arguably one of the best players in the game right now, besides like Mike Trout, obviously. I think the Nationals are still going to be a decent team, and this National League East is going to be really kind of competitive. Like, I think it's going to be a really competitive league. So I think the Nationals are going to finish off at 83 and 79. I think that's like a generous prediction for them. At number 4, we have the Philadelphia Phillies, who I believe are going to finish at 81 and 81. This one I thought was interesting because like I predicted them to win literally 50% of their games. I think it was a fun like finish for how I predicted it. Like the way I see it is that the Phillies are going to win a bunch of games against the National League West. They're going to win a bunch of games against San Fran, Colorado. They're going to win a bunch of games against, teams that are just not really half as good as any of the teams in the National League East. Other teams that the National League East have to face are like the American League East. So, the NL East, they get to face Boston and Baltimore. So those are like pretty much, I think, 8 to 10 free games that they can almost just win definitely because Baltimore is like maybe a 60 win team. Boston's maybe like a 75 win team. So I think the Phillies are going to go 81 and 81. I think this is this one's a very good prediction. I think the NL East, like I said, is very competitive, and it's gonna be a little bit rough. At number 5, last place in the NL East, we have the Miami Marlins, who it's not like they even have that bad of a record in my prediction. I predict they go 80 and 82, so one game behind the Phillies. Just one game behind the Phillies. Like I said, I'm going to keep repeating it. I think the NL East is going to be like one of the most competitive divisions in baseball right now. I think they're going to be one of the best divisions in baseball besides like the American League East. So I think the Phillies and the Marlins are going to be like pretty close in their record here. So I'm predicting the Marlins go 80 and 82. Winning 12 games in April, 11 games in May, 15 in June, so I'm predicting they have kind of a big June, 12 in July, 14 in August, and then trying to like make a run for the playoffs, like trying to make a run for unsuccessfully, I think, for the playoffs at 16 wins in September and October. So yeah, I really think the National League East is going to be really good. I think it's going to be a really fun division to watch. I don't know if my predictions are going to be exact. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get any of these right because that's just it's hard. It's hard to predict, how good a team's going to do. But the point of this is just how I think these teams are going to like play in the regular season. Like I said, I think the Mets are going to take number 1, and I think that the Braves are going to play for a wild card spot at a very good 95 and 67. So I think it's going to be a really interesting year for the NL East. But with that, that's all I have for this video. I will be talking about, I think I'm not sure which division I'll be talking about in the next video. The ones I have done are basically all of them, except for the American League Central, with printing issues, because I printed all these out on paper. So I had some printing issues with the American League Central, so it's going to be a little bit rough for that one. I don't know. I might get that one done in like a day or so. But my next video, I think, might be talking about the American League West and my predictions on that. So yeah, we're just gonna go full circle around here with all the teams in the league and all the whatever. But with that, make sure to like and subscribe to my videos. You know, every like, every sub helps a lot. So just show some appreciation for my videos. I'm trying to get better with like video editing and stuff. So just kind of help me with that, and like understand that I'm basically trying to do this on a college budget. I don't even have like a full-time job, so you know. But yeah, so just like make sure to like and subscribe. Wait for more videos. Baseball season's coming up soon, so I'm gonna get into like more videos really soon. So I'm gonna do like more breakdown videos and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting. But with that, stay tuned for just more videos, and I can't repeat that enough. So